Hello you guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we are going to be doing a sit down and paint with me. I feel like I haven't done this in a little bit, so I thought it would be fun to get back and do one of these. And we are going to be working on some really loose abstract florals. They are fairly simple to follow along, so hopefully you can paint along with me. I did decide to leave this one in pretty much real time. I did cut out the thinking process for you, but for the most part, this one is in real time. So I'm going to get started here in my sketchbook with the first one. And I started off by just splattering some paint around. And I'm using two different colors today in all of these paintings. I'm using raw umber and burnt umber. And as I said, I started off just by splattering around some color, and then I went in with just some extra water and whatever paint was left on my brush, and I just tried to pull out some areas where the flowers were going to be. And as I mentioned, these are very loose florals, so they are not going to look like perfect flowers by any means, but we can use our imaginations and just enjoy the randomness. I am then going in with just a little bit more paint on the brush and dabbing in at the bottom of the flowers just to give them a little bit of depth. And then I also went in with the darker raw umber and added that in as well, so it can kind of spread out while the paint is still wet. And then I'm using it to just make some quick little stems. This one here came out a little thick at the top, but this is just for fun and in our sketchbook, so that's okay. Next up, I grabbed these 4 pieces of pre-cut watercolor paper that I had sitting on my desk, and I decided to work on all 4 of them kind of at the same time and use the splatter from one to the next and get them to try to flow together. And again, with the water left on my brush, I am just going in and pulling out from some of these splatters and making them into the placement for my flowers. And while they're still wet, I'm going to go in and just add a little bit more paint to the bottoms, just like I did before. And then I will go in again with that darker color just to give them a little bit more something and a little bit more color and dimension. I did find that working on all 4 of them at the same time, some of them had dried a little faster than I had hoped, so they didn't quite blend how I wanted them to, but in all, they still looked really cute. On this next one, I again used one of those pre-cut pieces of paper that I had on my desk, and I had started off with painting the background of it. I did use brown ochre for that, just so it would be a little lighter than the umbers that I was using. And I am just going back in with the very same technique and pulling out some of these splatters to find my flower placement. So I did lose the original footage here on this one. So right now you are seeing the first layer, the technique that I have been doing on all the other pieces that we've made so far today. And to be honest, I definitely hated it. I pushed it to the side and created another one. As I said, I lost that footage, but you will see it in the end clip where I show an overview of everything that we did. But I pushed it aside, I made another one, and then I looked at it and thought, you know what, maybe I should try to fix it, because even if I can't fix it, I'm going to just paint over it anyway. I'll use gouache to cover it all up and the board won't go to waste. So I went back in, and this is what you're seeing here. I painted some darker, more intentional flowers to try and cover up some of the areas I didn't like and just give it a little bit more dimension. And I am so glad that I did, because this one actually turned out to be my favorite of all the pieces that we've made. So really happy that I went back in and tried to fix this one. And I know I've said it before here on my channel, because I feel like this happens to me quite often, that during the process I don't love how the piece is turning out, but in the end I end up loving it. So please remember, you guys, do not give up on your work. See it through, because in the end you will likely create something amazing. Okay, and here is a final look at all the pieces that we created today. I had so much fun doing this. I think I may go back in and add some more detailed or intentional flowers, just as I had done on the alco board to some of these other ones. But as I said, this was a lot of fun to create. I hope you guys were painting along with me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe. I would love to see you in the next one. Bye!